So, there's an emotional reaction in our system and we're going to do something. That's just a given. Okay. We're going to react in a way. Emotional distress is going to cause us to do something. So we need to be able to recognize that we've just participated in a behavioral response that we didn't really want to participate in and build our ability to self-analyze around what it is that we want to do about that so that we can then practice the skills we need to practice to change that emotional reaction. Because whenever we get emotionally activated, we just go into automatic behavioral responses.
Hold on, can I
It's,
ask you, Stephen, just to
yeah,
clarify something? Because something that's confusing me a little is when you say we're trying to work with the emotional reaction and then you're separating that from the behavioral reaction, can you define the difference in the two?
there is no difference. The emotional
Okay.
reaction is the behavioral response.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So, like, there's an emotional reaction in my system which activates a behavioral response. So, the emotional reaction is I feel this, or there's a part of me that is feeling this, which automatically activates a behavioral response in our system. So, the part of me goes, I'm feeling this. This is what I need to do.
Gotcha.
I'm afraid that if this keeps going the way that it is, it's going to cause me to feel guilt and shame. I don't want to feel guilt and it happens like that. It's not like we're processing
I
it
hear
like
you.
this. I'm afraid that if this situation plays out the way that it is, it's going to make me feel guilt and shame. I don't know how to cope with guilt and shame. So the fear that's in my system activates a behavioral response. And that behavioral response is either going to be fight. I'm going to get angry and confrontational with everybody that's in the environment with me. It's going to be flight. I'm going to run away. I'm going to avoid. I'm not going to go and connect with these people. It's going to be freeze. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to stop and hope that this passes me by. It's going to be submit. So I'm going to give in to whatever it is that's going on around me, what I'm being told, either internally or externally, or it's going to be distract. So I'm just going to, ooh, shiny thing. Like,
Can I just say to the distract one, as you were saying that, I was thinking of the last awkward moment where I went right into my phone.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It was like, okay, this is happening around and pretend like I'm texting someone right now.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It's
right. Distract myself from what's going on in the environment, right? So whenever there is an emotional response in our system, whenever there's an emotion that gets activated in our system, there is an automatic behavioral response that's going to kick in. We have to learn how to recognize these behavioral responses to figure out whether they are effective or ineffective for us to be the person that we want to be. It is not about these behavioral responses being good, bad, right, wrong. It's about these behavioral responses being effective or ineffective for us to be the person that we want to be. The term dialectical is all about understanding that there are multiple ways to look at any given situation. It's basically what it means. So, very little in life is black and white. I used to say nothing in life is black and white, but that in itself is a black and white statement. So, very little in life is black and white. There are some things that are black and white. What we're trying to do is find out when we have a perspective on a particular situation and a behavioral response kicks in, is that behavioral response and therefore that perspective effective for us to live the life we want to live and be the person that we want to be? If it's effective, if it's helpful for me to be the person that I want to be, don't worry about it. Leave it as it is. Keep doing it. Because if it's effective for you to be the person that you want to be, then why would we need to change it? Most of the time, though, those our behavioral responses in any given situation is not effective for us to be the person that we want to be. Usually it's maladaptive and ineffective. So things like, excessive anger, lashing out at the people around us, substance use, process addictions, issues with food, sex, gambling,
ADHD.
ADHD, yeah, distraction, like all those sorts of things, right? So these are just behavioral responses to the emotional experience that we're having. So first of all, we have to learn how to recognize that these are behavioral responses. And that means self-analysis. It means reflecting on what's happened, contemplating the different things that we've gone through on a daily basis and looking at our behavioral responses and going, oh, that's interesting. How do what could I have done differently there? Did that go well for me? Just reflecting on what's happening during the day so that we can see, is there something that we're doing in the build up to our, every single day that's going to be that's causing us to have these emotional reactions? And if everything's in place for us to live the life we want to live and be the person that we want to be, and we're still having these emotional reactions, what are the skills that are missing? So in DBT, this is called the self-analysis process, and it is, really, really important for us to know how to do this with the understanding that we don't have the skills in place yet. So in the beginning, what we're trying to do is just start the self-reflection process without the expectation that we're going to fix everything right away. So one of the biggest issues that people experience when they come into any kind of DBT work is this kind of black and white rigidity around, well, now I know it, I should be able to fix it. And we're going to get into the difference between knowing and feeling when we start talking about the mindfulness aspect. But I wanted to start off today by just talking about, and you bringing it up as well, just talking about the self-analysis point, because without the ability to self-analyze, we're constantly relying on other people to tell us what to do, to tell us what it is that we need to change. And it's not effective for any kind of long-term sustainable solutions to the issues that we're experiencing. Ultimately, we have to learn how to self-analyze. Otherwise, we're constantly reacting and then looking at other people to tell us what to do differently.
The clip you just watched was taken from the upcoming podcast, A Conversation for Liberation. If you like the content of this clip, please subscribe to the channel, smash that like button and turn on the notifications so you can stay up to date with when each full episode gets released. As always, if you want to know more about what we do at the Liberation Place, come join the live online meetings that I facilitate each week for free on Zoom. I'll leave a link to the page containing more information about these groups in the description below. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Take care, be safe and be well.